Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Habib Ali and I am an ICT tutor by profession. In today's lesson we are going to be learning about how to format numbers as currency, date, percentages and decimal places. Hope you like and share this lesson and subscribe to our channel. Okay, so let's make a start to today's lesson. So in today's lesson, I'm using a file called lesson 13 number formats. And as usual, you can get a copy of this entire file by clicking in the link I have left for you in the description down below. Click on the link and this will take you directly to lesson 13 on my website, and feel free to download a copy so you can work along with myself. Let's go and check today's question. Format all the currency values to be shown as 2 decimal places and with a pound sign. Sounds straightforward. However, before we tackle this, I do want to teach you some extra number formatting features in this lesson. So this is the main group that I would like to introduce to you for today's lesson. It is available on the ribbon under the Home tab, and the group is called the number group. This entire group will allow you to format any numerical value into a particular category that you wish to apply to, and that will make more sense or give more meaning to your spreadsheet. You may ask, okay, what is the purpose of using the number format and why do we need to do this? Well, let's say by converting some random or some general numbers in Microsoft Excel, we can convert them automatically into percentages, into currencies, using different decimal places, even date, time, etc. There are many different categories available. I just want to give you a quick snapshot here. So you've got currency. Accounting is a very good one as well. We'll talk about this one as well. You've got date, time, percentages, and some technical ones down below. You've also got some custom elements that you can apply to some of these categories, where you can choose a particular layout or a format that you would like to refine even further to the one that Excel chooses for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a start on this particular section here today before I jump on this side. So the very first thing I want to introduce is a date number, and let's see how Excel tackles, or let's see if it actually recognizes a date when I do type it in. However, before anything else, can you please make a note that by default every number that we type in Excel into Excel, it does recognize it as a general number. However, depending on how we type in the number value, Excel should automatically recognize it as a date or a percentage or a currency, etc., etc. So let's see how Excel does this. I'm going to type in a date, so let's say 22nd of December. Now when I press enter, Excel should recognize this as a date, simply because I have used a date format. The / will recognize, or will allow Excel to recognize this as a date. So if I press enter, this general from here, the drop down list, it should change and Excel should automatically recognize this as a date. Let's have a look. Okay, so there we are. It has converted it to a date, and what it has done, instead of specifically telling me that it is a date, it has gone one step further and recognized it as a particular customed type of date. So you can see this is what I typed in, especially the very first part. It does the year for me automatically, and you can see that it has given me the result as 22 hyphen and then December or DEC. So it is a particular format of a date, so I'm happy with that. That's not a problem. However, if I didn't like this and I did want it in this format, which we call a short date, what I can do is simply click on the drop down list that Excel has given me, and I can choose the short date here and it will convert it for me, just like so. Once I'm happy with the format of the date, there is another lovely element to this number format that I would like to introduce to you. For example, or in particular for the date format, once you have got in your date, what we can actually do now is replicate this date into the other cells, and what Excel will do, it will continue the series of date into the other cells by including an extra day, for example. So from the 22nd, it will, when I replicate into the other cells, it will automatically make it into 23rd, 24th, and so on. So it keeps the series basically going. Let me show you. So I'm just going to click and drag, just hover my mouse over the fill handle, click and drag into the other cells, and let's see what Excel does. There you go. So from the 22nd, it's gone to the 23rd, 24th, etc., all the way to the 30th of April. The 30th of December. I do apologize. I can continue this series as well, and Excel will continue adding another extra day. So you can see from the 31st of December, it has jumped to the 1st of January 2021. So it keeps the series going as I replicate into the other cells. So that's a lovely feature for you to make a note of. It's definitely going to be a time saver. Instead of you typing in manually the dates by adding an extra date, extra day on top, you could simply replicate, and this will save you a lot of time. Let's move on to the currency format. Now in Microsoft Excel, when you do type in currency values, you don't necessarily have to type in the pound sign. However, if you do type in the pound sign, Excel will automatically recognize it as a currency number format. So you can see in this range of numbers that I have typed in already, you can see that Excel has recognized it as a general number. So now the idea is to show you in today's lesson is how we can convert these values or this list of values into a currency format. In particular, I'm going to be choosing the British pound symbol with 2 decimal places. So the general idea is you simply select the list like so, and you can either use the drop down list here and choose currency. You can even choose the currency icon here. However, this will actually allow the accounting number format, which I will discuss later on today in this lesson. Or we can simply open the number group by clicking on the arrow just in the corner, and this will open up the dialog box so you can see the entire number or different categories that is available to you. So from the list, I can choose currency. When I do choose currency, Excel is giving me a few further options, such as what symbol do you want, meaning the currency sign, the number of decimal places, and it also gives me a little sample before I click on OK, just to tell me if I am okay with it. I have also got a little description here. Currency formats are used for general monetary values. Use accounting formats to align decimal points in a column. Now, accounting one is a lovely one as well. Like I said, the real difference between currency and accounting is that accounting formats do align the decimal points as well as the actual currency symbol, it puts it to the extreme left hand side, which I will show you later. However, I am happy with this, so all I have to do is click on OK. And Excel will automatically put in all the pound signs in there for me, as you can see, as well as the decimal places. Now, because I selected 2 decimal places, you can see after the dot there is 2 values. This is what the decimal places is. Okay, so currency isn't really that difficult to understand or apply. You simply highlight and select currency and choose the relevant currency symbol that you desire. Let us now move on to percentage, because percentage is one that you have to be very careful about. So for example, in this range of numbers you can see in front of you that I have already typed in, what I have done is put in a fraction, a number or a decimal number, which actually does represent an actual percentage. Now, if you were paying attention in your maths class, in mathematics, you will know that a fraction such as this, 0.01, is the actual conversion or the meaning of 1%. You cannot type in 1 and expect Excel to convert that number 1 into 1%, because remember, 1 is actually a whole 100%. So for example, if I was to convert all these numbers that I have typed in, for example, you can see here in this column what I have done for your understanding. I have typed in the whole number as a percentage, so you understand that 0.25 is actually the equivalent of 25%, 0.3 is the equivalent of 30, and so on. So for me to now format these decimal or fraction values into a percentage, all I have to do is go up here in my number group and simply select either percentage there, or I can select it from the drop down list and choose percentage here. Or remember, I can open the entire group by clicking on the arrow. By opening the entire group, the advantage is that you can see a sample of it before you click on OK. So it gives you a little bit more confidence, especially if you are learning this for the first time. I'm going to select percentage. I don't really want 2 decimal places. I just want a 0 decimal place, a whole number. So I'm just going to reduce that to 0. You can see there's a lovely sample here. It always takes the very first value from the selected range and shows that what this will look like. So it's telling me that 0.01 is actually going to convert it to display in the cell as 1%. Let's have a look. Let's click on OK. There you go. So you've got 1%, 25%, 30%, 2%, and so on. So what it does is it has converted the fraction into decimal places, and it puts in the decimal symbol and everything, all of them in for me automatically. And again, this is a big time saver for us. However, I just want to show you this as an example now, so you do not make this mistake in the future, because I am aware a lot of people make this mistake. They assume that if they type in 1 and then convert this into a percentage, Excel will just simply put a pound sign, put a decimal icon after it, decimal symbol after the number 1, and it will convert 1 to 1%. Well, unfortunately, this is not the case, because Excel will think 1 as a whole number or a whole 100%, and it will convert this 1 to actually 100%. Let me show you. So I'm going to select this entire range, go into my number group, and I'm going to select percentage, again 0 decimal place. Click on OK. Now you can see in the sample it is straight away showing you that this 1 is going to be converted to 100%. So let's click on OK and let's see what we get. There you go. So the 40, for example, has been converted to 4,000%. Now this is well off from what we wanted as a percentage value. So please be careful that you don't assume that by typing in 1 and then going ahead, selecting the range and formatting it as a percentage, that will most definitely not work, and you will get the wrong percentage value. If you do want to type in the actual percentage, what you can do, you can type in 1 and then manually put in the percentage symbol, and by doing so, what Excel will actually do now is recognize this cell as a percentage format. You can see I've got general here at the moment. When I do press enter, you will see that Excel will recognize this cell as a percentage now. There you go. So I've selected the cell. Now you can see Excel is showing it as a percentage. So by putting in the percentage sign, Excel will recognize it. So if you do want to manually type in the percentage, please do make sure you put the percentage sign in at the same time. Don't try to type it in like I did here in this example and then going to convert them into a percentage value. You will simply get these massive percentage figures, because remember, Excel is converting each number into a percentage. However, if you had fractions like I had, I'm just going to change these two into a general number again for you, just to remind you. So if you have fractions like this, absolutely you can convert them into a percentage. But remember, if you've got numbers like this, these are whole numbers, do not convert them into a percentage. You will simply get the wrong answers. Okay, I hope this made a lot of sense. If not, you know what to do. Please do leave a question or a comment in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. However, for the rest of the lesson, what I want you to do is convert these. I'm just going to remove this actually just to show you. So before you make them back into general values, so there you go. Now the general idea now is for us, because we have typed all these values in. If you have been working with myself right from lesson 1, you would have created something beautiful like this. If you haven't, please do revisit all the way from lesson 1 and complete lesson 1 to lesson 12, and you will get something lovely like this. And you will have learned many skills in the past, all the way from lesson 1 to lesson 12, many functions in Microsoft Excel and many other lovely features that I have introduced in those lessons. However, let's get back to this. So the general idea is for us to select and identify all the numerical values where I want to convert into a currency as per the question. If you remember, it was asking us to format the currency values to be shown as 2 decimal places and with a pound sign. So we simply select the range that we want to change to a currency format with a 2 decimal places and a pound sign. Once we have done that, this time, like I promised you earlier, I'm going to choose this accounting format, and let's see what this list of numbers look like. I'm going to choose English UK. This is accountancy, by the way. There you go. Okay, there you go. So we've got the pound sign on the extreme left hand side of the cell, and you've got the decimal places aligned perfectly with every single value. You can see this is a bigger value, but yet the decimal place is still aligned up with the rest of the numerical values. I'm going to also do the same for revenue, because revenue is also a monetary value in this spreadsheet. So again, just like before, select the range, but this time I'm going to open the group, select accounting from the list. I mean, remember, you can also choose currency. Currency and accounting very similar, just a little couple of differences between the two. So once you've selected accounting, you've got the pound sign, and 2 decimal places. I'm happy with that. This is what it is going to look like. So I'm going to click on OK. Before I do that, just a quick reminder that the accounting formats line up the currency symbols and the decimal points in a column. That is the only 2 differences, remember, between the currency format and the accounting format to these monetary values that I am applying. Click on OK. And there you go. So you've got the pound sign on the left hand side. Instead of right next to the number, it just makes it a little bit more clearer, a little bit more easier to read the actual monetary values. And also remember, you've got the decimal point aligned up as well. So this is how you format or use the number format in Microsoft Excel. You also have the decimal places just here. So if I did want to increase or decrease the number of decimal places in this selected range of numbers, all I can do is use these arrows, one to increase and one to decrease. So this is for decrease and this is for increase. So let's say I want to increase by another 2 decimal places. So in total now I have 4 decimal places, but I wouldn't use this in this case. It wouldn't make much sense to me. So I'm going to decrease it back to 2 decimal places. Excel has also applied the thousand separator because I've got thousands in this range, whereas in this one the maximum value I have is 305 pounds. So there is no thousands here, but in this range I've got thousands, and therefore Excel has used this commas after the thousand number. We call this a thousand separator, and for the thousand separator I have done another lesson to break it down for you to give you more understanding. However, just quickly want to show you that this is the thousand separator, which you could use manually as well to format some numbers to identify or break down the thousand value from the rest. So I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. If you have, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends and family. And also please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And until then, please do look after yourself, and I shall see you over in the next lesson. So goodbye for now.